Welcome everyone to the second 15 plus 10 rapid game between Ante Brkic on your screen on the right and the 12-year-old Faustino Oro from Argentina on your left. Well, this is Faustino's first ever appearance in the FIDE World Cup. The youngster is playing some exciting chess. The winner of this matchup will face Vidit Gujarati. The classical portion ended in 1-1, but Brkic managed to win the first 15 plus 10 encounter. Now Faustino Oro is in a must-win scenario with the white pieces. A lot of pressure on the youngster. He is facing a very experienced 2579 rated GM from Croatia. Opens the game with d4, knight f6. Knight comes out to f3. And what will black play now? He pushes his pawn to d5. We have e3. Faustino chooses this weapon in a must-win game. Makes sense. It's not very theoretical. c5 by Brkic. He takes the pawn. D takes c5. And I think this is what Faustino wanted. A sharp game. Because now we are going to go into this territory where he tries to preserve his pawn on c5. Very important now for black to strike there with a5. c3 played, trying to hang on to the extra pawn. It's like this note boom variation, which is very famous, but with reversed colors. That's what's happening here. b6. And now Faustino goes for a check. Bishop b5 check. You have to play bishop d7. Takes the bishop. And you can see that Brkic is not playing it quickly. He is not super well versed with this, which is a bit worrying. One can imagine a4. He takes the pawn and pushes b5. You will see that white now has two passers, but black has this very strong center. Bishop b2. And now one way to play is castles, queen c7, e5 in the center. But Brkic, whoa, he goes for g5. This is really sharp. And Faustino plays e4 in the center. Now imagine if you take here rook g8, black has excellent position. So e4, now you can't take with the knight because this is hanging. g4 played. And this is all Faustino's preparation. Look at him. 16 minutes 57 seconds. One thing to note, of course, was that you couldn't take here. The bishop was hanging. d4 played. Now this is not the best move. Queen b8 is much better because now you give up the c4 square. So the knight can jump from a3 to c4. He plays directly knight c4, which is also a fine move. d6 is hanging, but you can actually pick up the pawn on e4. He goes back. Bishop c7. Also have to stop a5 and b6 here. The white pawns would be super strong, but he goes knight d2. Now what Faustino wants to do is go knight b3, a5 b6. That's his plan. Brkic pushes his pawn to h5. Super sharp game, and I'm pretty sure that Brkic didn't want so much of sharpness when he's leading the match 1-0. But then again, let's see. Faustino would be quite happy here. Queen e2, king f8 played. Maybe just to tuck the king over to g7. But I don't want this king on this diagonal. Actually, it's quite dangerous. Rook to a3. Very interesting move by Faustino. He tries to keep the rook on the third rank. Queen goes to b8. Looking here in this direction so that if you castle, h2 falls with a check. g3 played. And somehow Brkic has managed to be ahead on time now. He has 10 minutes 47 seconds. h4. He's putting a lot of pressure on the king side. But look at Faustino. He is going right into the storm with castling. And he's like, I'm not afraid of any sacrifices because I have my rook here to defend. King goes to e7 now. Black is a bit uncomfortable with that king there. And what will Faustino do next? Well, he starts moving in with his pawns here. Rook b1, fantastic move defending this so that a5 later there will be defense to the b5 pawn. hg, fg, lovely move. And now the rook can actually come back on the f file. f takes g3. Rook goes to h5, hopefully trying to double on the h file at some point also, trying to exert some influence on the 5th rank. Faustino goes bishop c1, defending the b5 pawn, preparing the move a5. You could have done it directly though, but queen h8 played. But there's no threat here. You know, h2 is well guarded. He goes b6. Excellent. Pushes forward. You have to move the bishop now. Bishop b8. And it's time to push your a pawn. Does it? Pawn to a5. Brkic tries to sort of keep some kind of blockade, but the rook is hanging there on a6, it feels. Queen, he goes rook b5. Queen comes up to h7. Rook b3 played. And where's the next idea for black? He goes knight e5, but that's a mistake because after knight e5, rook a5, bishop a3, the c5 pawn is terribly weak and in fact could lead to a big issues there. Look at Faustino's concentration there. The boy knows he's got his chance here. He goes directly bishop a3, which is also fantastic. Knight takes c4. And now queen takes needs to be found, because if you take with the knight here, that would be a mistake. Knight e4 comes in. He takes rook c5. Oh my goodness, what a move. What about knight a3? Because now this is very important. Only move for Brkic. Can he find it with just 30 seconds on the clock? Faustino has completely complicated the game. Rook c5. What a move. He's also attacking here. Brkic running low, last few seconds, needs to make a move. No, he's going to move his bishop. He blunders there. Bishop d6. Misses. Rook takes c4. Absolutely just falling. The piece just goes. Rook takes h5 taken, also really good. Rook takes, and now Faustino can just take on c4 and be an extra piece up. He goes to d6. That's also great. If king d6, then you can take on c4. If knight d6, I think you have e5 coming in. Oh, the a6 rook is also hanging. Oh my goodness. He just takes it. His rook up, queen c5. Wow. What a turn of events there for Faustino Oro. He comes back, queen d3. And Brkic misses a golden opportunity here to actually win not just this game. I mean, he could have held this game and then won the match. b7. Now Faustino's pawn rushing through. Queen takes a5, but you go b8 queen. Look at Faustino holding the queen in his hand. He pushes, makes a queen, knight b8, rook b8, an entire rook up. This is game over. Faustino has equalized, and we now will move to 10 plus 10 section after this. And look at him staring down his opponent, losing on time there. Faustino scores the win, and now we move to the next segment. But what a fight this was. The youngster showing that although he's an IM, he clearly belongs to the big stage. And well, eventually he outplayed Brkic in this tie break and managed to move to round 2 of the FIDE World Cup to face Vidit Gujarati. Amazing job. This young boy, Faustino Oro, is someone you definitely have to keep an eye out for. He's the future of chess. He's also called the Messi of chess. The arbiters do the toss for the next segment, and Faustino gets the black pieces. I want to draw your attention to this key moment when the last move was played. Knight takes c4. Queen takes c4 was a very nice move, and the main point being that after takes, there's queen takes c5 and the king is getting checkmated here. However, Faustino played rook c5, and at this point Brkic had to find knight a3. This is super tough for two reasons. Firstly, the rook is hanging here. Well, if you take here, then c5 is hanging. So first we should begin with rook takes, queen takes, and now queen takes a6 looks very logical in this position. I mean, queen takes h5, queen takes a6. However, at this point, black does have two pieces for a rook. So something like bishop d6, and black should have enough compensation, or even queen c5 with the idea of coming in, or d3, and black is doing really well in the game. So that's the reason why knight takes a3 was a complicated equal position, but he went bd6, absolutely missing that after takes queen a6 he simply exchanged down, and these pawns are too strong.
Hi everyone, we have with us the Messi of Chess International Master Faustino Oro of Argentina. Faustino just defeated Ante Brkic from Croatia to advance to the second round. Well, congratulations Faustino. Can you tell us how was the match from your perspective?
Well, the two first classical games ended in a draw, so we went to tiebreaks, and then well, in the tiebreaks I feel a bit more confident because okay, in tiebreaks maybe I had more chances. It's better, I believe, in classic and then rapid and blitz. But okay, the two classical things were perfect played, so we were to tiebreaks, and then he started winning the first game, so I need to win the second game. That I won the second game, must win situation, and then we drew two times, so we went to the fly past three portion, and then I won 2-0. Yeah, two and but yeah, in last game I was nervous, so but okay, I won. So,
So when you lost the first 15 plus 10 rapid tiebreak game and you were in a must-win situation, what did you tell yourself?
yeah, okay. I was trying. I need to win. If I lose, okay, but I can make a draw. So I was trying to calm me down because I was like furious to lose that game. So, but I tried to calm down and play my best chess in the second game.
In the second 10 plus 10 game, you had a queen and knight versus queen and rook end game, and it seemed quite difficult. And you somehow managed to escape by doing h4, knight g5, a beautiful maneuver. So, how did you do that in such a low time?
I don't know. I believe in the opening I was like so better, maybe +1, +2, and then I start like I don't know. In some moment I should be winning, but I blundered like f5 rook f7 plan, and I lost the c7 pawn, and then I am worse because my knight is too bad because my knight was in f2 and his pawns were in h4, f5, e4. So where I go with my knight? So and then yeah, I managed some kind of fortress, but I believe in some moment when he had the king on h6, the queen in h5, and the rook on e2, he could play some queen g4 to try to trade queens, and with my e3 pawn I believe I was losing, but okay, he didn't find it, and then I managed to give a check and put my knight in e5, that stops queen g4, and pressure the g6 pawn so he can't progress, and yeah, draw.
Well, after winning the first 5 plus 3, you just needed a draw. So, what did you tell yourself before coming into the second 5 plus 3 blitz game?
Yeah, I try to play normal, but okay, I try to play more solid, not too aggressive. But yeah, I was trying to play my normal chess, not trying to change all the pieces. But yeah, obviously a draw was enough, and yeah, I try to play normal, but okay, like needing a draw, solid.
Recently, you have played a lot of various speed online format, like various blitz against Giri, Costa Kavitsky. Would you say that those helped you for your tiebreak preparation in World Cup?
Maybe a bit, yeah. Sometimes my matches in ICC, yeah, helps me a bit to train a bit of blitz, and play against world chess players helps me to train a bit, and yeah.
Well, speaking of ICC, we know that ICC is your sponsor. So, if you could tell us how supportive they have been so far in your journey.
Yeah, ICC is a good support for me, my biggest support. So yeah, I appreciate the match, and I like so much the platform. It's my favorite platform. So yeah, I play there some matches, and yeah, I enjoy playing in ICC.
In the second round, you are going to face Grandmaster Vidit Gujarati. So, have you ever faced him before in any format, classical, rapid, blitz, or online?
I believe I played online one game in Title Tuesday that he beat me. I believe I was winning, but I don't remember. I believe we played one time in Blitz online, but no, then I didn't play in classical and that, and I believe it's my highest rated player that I played right now. So yeah, happy and excited to play him.
Well, you have fans and supporters all over the world. Anything you would like to say towards them?
No, that they enjoy chess and train chess if they like chess, and yeah, simply that.
Well, Faustino, I won't take away any much of your time because you have another match tomorrow. Thank you very much for your valuable time. I wish you all the best for your second round match.
Thank you.